Hello, welcome to Module 2. We're off to a good start here in the new semester. This week, again, you'll arrive at Module 2 the same way you arrived at Module 1 by clicking through Learning Modules here and then clicking on Module 2. And this week you have two graded assignments, and I want to be very clear about them because this is probably the week that more students get confused than any other week. So be very clear about it. So first off, you are going to click through here and get to your readings. We're going to think about active reading here today. And active reading differs than just sort of mindlessly reading in that you are you're thinking about your reading in a way that will lead to something later, and that something later happens to be an essay, right? And so you're going to read about some active reading strategies here, and you can do that by clicking on each of these boxes as you click through the reading for this week. And then once you've done that, you will click next. Excuse me. And you're going to get some practice with some active reading exercises. This is not graded, obviously, but you will click through it to continue. This one as well, there are some questions for diagnostics here. Again, these are not graded, these first two sections. It's just to warm you up to the graded work. The graded work for this week happens in 2.4 and 2.5. After you read a little bit more about style and diction, we're going to just preview the two graded assignments here. And this is the part that goofs everyone up. Okay, so you're going to read this short article entitled Turning Off Dining In. All right, you can see that located here. And then after you do that, you're going to answer these specific questions by typing your response in here. So the first question asks you, what is the context? You will click it, you will type it in, and you will click submit. You will do that for all 5 of these. Again, these questions pertain to this article right here, okay? Turning off dining in. After you get through that, you'll click next. Again, make sure you hit submit after you submit every one of your assignments, after you type them all of your answers in. All right. Now, the last piece of graded work is your journal for the importance of analysis. This assignment is over the article you read last week. All right. So the one whichever article you chose for last week, this is the same assignment you'll use. This is the same article you'll use for this one. You're not going to use turning off dining in for this assignment. Every time I have people submit where they've done this assignment for that one, and that's not what we're asking you to do. This continues with the work from last week. All of the work this semester will be building an essay about one of those articles, whichever one you read. You're going to continue with the same article throughout. Okay. So basically in this, you're going to discuss the context of your article. You're going to discuss the author's purpose, the style and the tone, and what have you learned from early analysis. And then you're going to kind of answer how will a closer analysis of the author's claim and the structure of the writing help you to learn more about your selected reading. And then you'll answer if you think the author's writing is effective in achieving their purpose and what led you to this conclusion. All right. So you're going to answer this block of questions in paragraph form. Don't number them. Don't, try to make it as clear as sort of a journal entry as you can that sort of presents like an essay. You're going to move through, you're going to have, a paragraph or two for each of these. At most, or at minimum, you're going to have about 3 fully developed paragraphs. All right. Generally one paragraph per bullet point here. Right. And so that's basically how you're going to present this. And again, I will reiterate this again. You're going to do this assignment, the journal, the importance of analysis, not on turning off dining in. That only exists in 2.4. You will not use that again. You're writing this journal about the article that you wrote your 1.7 assignment about, the first week's assignment. Whichever article you picked, in that week that you wrote about for last week, you're going to also write about for this week and for forever. That will be the article that you use for all of these assignments. I'm reiterating this point over and over again because every time I have someone, a couple students each class, who mistakenly do this assignment with turning off dining in. And I don't want you to do that. So that's it for this week. It's a pretty brief week, I think, in some ways. You do have kind of two things to engage with. But the key thing here is you're going to answer these questions. You're going to basically write a paragraph for each bullet pointed item here, and then you'll submit it the same way you did last week. As always, you can check the rubric down here, which will sort of demonstrate how I am grading. In terms of grading, so everything each week is due Sunday night. I should also mention, there's no discussion board this week. That only happened, as I mentioned, in week 1 and 7. So there's no discussion board this week. There's nothing due in the middle of the week. Everything is due by Sunday night this week, all right? In terms of grading, so I essentially have 7 days to complete the grading from the previous week once the due date has been passed. So in other words, from Sunday night, I have until the next Sunday night to get your grading in. It generally does not take me that long. And you can go in and check your grades and the commentary, importantly, after I have graded those work. I normally, I work through as quickly as I can. I normally have them done by middle of the week, but just know that if they're not there by the middle of the week, I will have them certainly by next weekend completed. All right, so that's it for this week. We'll be back in the middle of the week for some reminders and some tips. If you have any questions in the meantime, please do not hesitate to email me. Take care.